What's the deal, family, man? Welcome back to the channel, bringing you the realest and rawest reactions on YouTube. Today we got another banger for y'all, man. So look, we got the story of Lloyd Avery the second. Shouts out to Hood Politics for the video. All right, about to run this one up right here, man. Look, bro, dude became an enemy of the hood. He was an enemy of the state after Boys in the Hood, bro. If y'all don't know, man, Lloyd Avery was the dude who shot Ricky in Boys in the Hood, pulled out the double barrel shotty out the back of the Honda Civic. I think it was a Honda Civic. Boom, bop, got him in the alley. Ever since then, he was enemy of the state. As a kid watching Boys in the Hood, like young, bro. I saw it when I was probably like 4, 5. I was super young when I first seen it. I immediately hated that dude because I'm thinking it's real. I'm taking it personal and shit. I'm like, I'm about to give me my little squirt gun. Give me my little squirt gun, bro. I'm about to go find, bro. You know what I mean? I'm about to go find, bro, somewhere. I'm gonna get him. If I see him, I'm gonna get him. My little pea shooter. You know what I'm saying? We got the H2O, no alkaline. You feel me? Anyways, man, I'm sure you guys seen this dude, man. He got the infamous shot. You can't get it out your head. He was also in what was he in, man? He was in Lockdown. And I think he was in Don't Be a Menace. He was in Don't Be a Menace as like a cameo from Boys in the Hood. And I want to say he was at least in one other movie, but I can't think of it. But I know for sure he was in Lockdown. And then he was also in Don't Be a Menace to South Central. So, besides Boys in the Hood. So, let's get to it, man. I don't really know nothing about his story or nothing. So, we're going to check this out. If you guys want me to react to more videos, check out more stuff, man, you know what to do. Get at me in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get it.
Welcome to Hood Politics. In this episode, I will be discussing the story of Lloyd Avery II. The facts of the case are as follows. The 1990s was the era of hood movies. South Central, Juice, New Jersey Drive, American Me, Fresh, Blood In, Blood Out, Above the Rim, Tales from the Hood, and Menace to Society are all classics in the genre. But
yo, I'm sure y'all seen a lot of these movies, but I know a lot of y'all ain't seen Tales from the Hood. Y'all better go watch that. And if y'all seen Boys in the Hood and you seen Menace to Society and you seen Friday and all that other stuff, make sure to go watch South Central too, because that's a classic. South Central is a classic, bro. For real.
But out of all the hood movies, only one reigns supreme, Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood is a coming-of-age story about a group of friends trying to navigate the streets of South Central Los Angeles, whether positively or negatively. The 1991 film put South Central Los Angeles under a microscope and gave the world an idea of what everyday life was like. The film was directed by John Singleton in his directorial debut, and it stars Ice Cube as Doughboy, Cuba Gooding Jr. as Trey, Morris Chestnut as Ricky, Lawrence Fishburne as Furious, Angela Bassett as Reva, Nia Long as Brandy, Regina King as Shalika, and a newcomer named Lloyd Avery II, who was simply credited as Knucklehead number 2 in the film. Lloyd Avery II was born on June 21st, 1969, in the View Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, California.
He was from View Park? Damn, that means he had dough. Hey, he lived in View Park. Hey, look, if you watching this and you're not from LA, bro, if he lived in View Park, he got dough. Here in Ladera, bro, Ladera, View Park, Windsor Hills, Baldwin Hills, you got dough. Real talk. You live in the village, though, you know what I mean? It's a little different. You go right outside of here, it's craziness. All right outside. But in the zones, Ladera zones, too, you good, but everywhere else around it is crazy.
His father, Lloyd Avery Sr., was a self-employed handyman, and his mother, Linda Avery, was a stay-at-home mom. Lloyd attended Beverly Hills High School, where he excelled in water polo and baseball. While attending Beverly Hills High,
I'm telling you, bro, he went to View Park. He lived in View Park. He got dough. I'm telling you, he right next to all the bullshit, though. But he got dough. You live in Windsor Hills, View Park, man.
Lloyd became a good friend with Quincy Jones' son, Quincy Jones III, also known as QD3. Lloyd graduated in 1987 and enrolled in LA Trade Tech, but dropped out a few months afterwards. He worked a host of small jobs, but he was more interested in the entertainment industry, which didn't sit well with his father. Lloyd Sr. wanted him to focus on a career while keeping entertainment as a hobby. Lloyd found some early success as a producer on Tisha Campbell's song Push. Around the same time, he landed a major role in the classic film Boys in the Hood. Lloyd played a blood gang member known for toting a double-barrel shotgun, and he would be a part of one of the most iconic scenes in movie history.
That boy stopped time with a double-barrel shotgun. He stopped time, bro. I'm telling you. I was like a little child, man. That was Enemy of the State. Off a movie. Crazy, man.
Shortly after Boys in the Hood, Lloyd landed a role in the 1992 episode of the TV show Doogie Howser MD, where he played a character named Red. John Singleton became fond of Lloyd and would even attend fish fries at the Avery home. Singleton went on to cast Lloyd and Lloyd's brother Che in the 1993 film Poetic Justice, starring Tupac Shakur and Janet Jackson. But Singleton and Lloyd's friendship returned bitter at the film's premiere. After the movie ended, Lloyd stood up in the theater and yelled, "Man, that shit was whack," which upset Singleton. Shortly afterwards, Lloyd's family and friends began noticing changes in his behavior. He became angry and confrontational. Singleton said Lloyd became the role of his Boys in the Hood character. Lloyd began rapping under the name L.A. Deuce, and he also began writing a movie script about the streets, but he wanted real-life inspiration, so he moved into the Baldwin Village, also known as the Jungles, which is a strong...
Damn, bro. Come on, man. Dude lived in... Bro, from View Park. Look at, he right next to all that, though. He grew up right next to all that. But, bro, you got the movie roles. You producing for actresses. You producing, music videos. You know Quincy Jones' son. Like, every opportunity to, not be on the bullshit. Right? He had every single opportunity to not be on the bullshit. But, here's the thing, though. That role he did in Boys in the Hood. Everybody knows it's movies and it's cinema, but it hit like real life. Everybody knows it's a movie, it's fake, it ain't real, but it's cinematic portrayal of real life, and it hit, and that scene hit people like real life to the point people still talk about that to this day. To this day, I still talk about that Ricky scene. People ain't never gonna stop talking about it. So, because of that, it's that whole thing. It's art imitating life. It's life imitating art. Right? And those blurred lines. Once those lines become so blurred, and, he walking around, he live in View Park or whatever, but he walking around anywhere around there, it's street activity going on heavy over there. So again, art imitating life, life imitating art. It's kind of crazy, man. But he became the character. It's kind of what they say about when actors play the Joker. Right? So when actors go play the Joker for the Batman movies, they got to go through all types of mental evaluations and stuff like that because dudes really become the character. They really get so caught up becoming the Joker that they really become Joker in real life. And those lines, become blurred. And we see no different in this situation based on how it's unfolded right now.
Stronghold of the Black Peastone Bloods. Lloyd shared an apartment with QD3. QD3 recalls Lloyd being in his mid-20s and hanging out with teenage gang members who sent them on crazy missions. In 1996, Lloyd made a cameo in a film that ironically parodied hood movies titled Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, starring Sean and Marlon Wayans. Lloyd began receiving less and less gigs, and his hot-headed reputation didn't help. Many people that were close to Lloyd think he went off the deep end because he was frustrated that his dreams of being a star wasn't coming and true. And if he couldn't be famous, he wanted to be infamous. Lloyd became a part of the jungle, to the point of getting the word jungles tattooed over his eyebrow. In March of 1999, Lloyd was involved in a shootout on Hillcrest Avenue in the jungles. In April of 1999, he was involved in an argument at an Islamic center near the jungles. At around 11:30 that night, Lloyd threw a concrete water meter through the window of the center and a shootout ensued. Lloyd continued to spiral out of control, but after constant conversations with family and friends, he decided to clean up his act. He started distancing himself from the gang and began the process of getting his jungles tattoo removed. Lloyd fell back into acting and landed a role in the 2000 film Lockdown, starring Master P, Richard T. Jones, Clifton Powell, and DeAndre Bonds.
He got beat
Lloyd
up.
played a character named Nate. Lloyd wasn't happy with his role as a drug-addicted snitch, and he would go on tirades through the halls voicing his disdain, which made the set very uncomfortable to work on, according to his co-stars. Shortly after wrapping Lockdown, Lloyd landed a role in the 2001 film Shot, starring Brandon Carrere and Trent Cameron. Lloyd played a character named G-Ride. The director of the film, Roger Roth, said that Lloyd was a great talent and he nailed his audition, but he went on to say that Lloyd's on-set antics were disappointing. He smoked weed near child actor trailers, he started a fight with the gang, and he even stole a car. Lloyd told Roth that he was having a hard time being
This nigga was way too real for me. He playing this role too good, man. He was playing that role a little bit too good, man. It don't even look like it was a high budget film, man. They gotta chill.
recognized. He said some people recognize him from Boys in the Hood, and other people recognize him because they think he may have killed their brothers. Around this time, Lloyd's past caught up with him when LAPD officers chased him down and charged him with the unthinkable. On July 1st, 1999, at around 4 p.m., Lloyd was at a shopping center near the jungles when he was involved in an argument with a woman named Annette Lewis. Lloyd pulled out a gun and shot Lewis 5 times. He then shot a man named Percy Branch in his arm and in his stomach. Lewis died shortly afterwards, and Branch died a few weeks later on July 23rd. The night before his arrest, Lloyd's brother Che recalls Lloyd acting strange. Che knew Lloyd was in trouble, but he didn't know the specifics. He just knew that detectives had been showing up looking for Lloyd. As the two sat in their grandmother's garage, Che said Lloyd was saying things like, "I had a good life." Che said Lloyd sounded like he wanted to confess something to him, but Che stopped him because he was scared to hear what Lloyd was going to say. Early the next morning, the cops pounced. Helicopters hovered over the residence and patrol cars began to line the streets. Che saw Lloyd in the kitchen with his bike. Lloyd gave Che a hug and left out the back door. As Lloyd rode down Crescent Heights Boulevard, he made a U-turn and stopped next to a police car and asked the cop, "What's up?" As the cop exited the vehicle, Lloyd took off, but soon afterwards he collided with another police car. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. During the trial, there were a lot of issues with the prosecution's case. The 3 eyewitnesses who identified Lloyd as the shooter all had credibility issues. No murder weapon was recovered, and the bullet cases linking him to the shooting were accidentally destroyed by ballistics examiners. Still, Lloyd was found guilty with the murders of Annette Lewis and Percy Branch.
Damn. They had no... Wait, what? You got eyewitnesses, but they got credibility issues. You ain't got no murder weapon. The bullet casings got destroyed, and he still got caught up. Like what? Like you had every opportunity. Again, all the opportunities to escape whatever reality he ended up ultimately putting himself in. He had every opportunity to avoid and escape multiple times. Damn.
And sentenced to life in prison. Lloyd's family and friends were split over the conviction. Some of them thought he was innocent, and some of them believed he was guilty. Che recalled a time when Lloyd showed up to the house, yelling things like he kills people, and when he was told to leave, he replied, "I don't give a fuck. Jungles." Lloyd was sent to Pelican Bay State Prison, which is one of the most dangerous prisons in America. Che said that Lloyd wanted to go to Pelican Bay because it was the roughest place. Che went on to say that Lloyd had plans on beating his case in retrial, returning to the streets as a convicted murderer, and starting a rap career. Lloyd was granted a retrial, but he was again found guilty in July of 2005. While between trials, people that were close to Lloyd began noticing a change in him. He befriended a chaplain named Dennis Clark at the Los Angeles County Jail and became a born-again Christian. Lloyd stopped cursing and fighting, and he would often call family and friends to check up on them and offer kind words. When Lloyd returned to Pelican Bay after losing his retrial, he led prayer services and tried spreading the gospel to his cellmate, Kevin Roby. But there was a problem. Roby was a Satan worshiper who was on year 17 of 3.
Boy. Dog, you gotta pick and choose. Bro has an issue with picking and choosing battles. You know? Like, he could never be a war general. He'd be the worst war general because he do not know how to pick and choose his battles wisely, bro. Like, dog. He went to Pelican Bay. He seen some shit. Turned him around, made him a born-again Christian because he seen some shit up in there. He thought it was all sweet before he went in. Then he went into that motherfucker and realized, hell no. This is hell on earth. Seen some shit. I got the same pose as this. Seen some shit. And became a born-again Christian. But, bro, the last thing you want to do, your cellmate, the person you got to sleep with, in the same cell with, the person who has the highest chance to off you whenever he wants, who is also a Satanist, completely against the exact opposite of what you want, who also got 17, I think he did 17 years, or he did years and he still has 17 to go. Either, bro has been in jail for a minute. It's a wrap for him. You trying to press your Christian beliefs onto this Satanist who got zero, nothing to lose at all, and he don't believe in going to hell, so it don't even matter. Or maybe he does, whatever, it don't matter. Come on, dog. That's the last person you need to be talking to or causing a problem with.
3 life sentences for murder. Lloyd sent the letter to Chaplain Clark saying that he knows God has him around Roby for a reason and that he prays Roby gives his life to God. Less than a week later, on Sunday, September 4th, 2005, Lloyd returned to his cell after attending church services. Lloyd laid on his bunk and began speaking his gospel as Roby worshiped near a pentagram that he had drawn on the floor. The two men began to argue over their ideologies and the argument soon turned violent. After a brutal fight, Roby put Lloyd in a chokehold and strangled him to death. That night, corrections officers performed an inmate count. They reported nothing out of the ordinary. The next day, with Lloyd's body still in the cell, Roby wrote a flirtatious letter to one of Lloyd's female friends. Corrections officers performed another inmate count. Again, they reported nothing out of the ordinary. In total, corrections officers performed 11 inmate counts, including standing counts. Each time, they reported nothing out of the ordinary.
Wow.
Lloyd's body wasn't discovered until September 6, 2005. Roby laid Lloyd's body on a pentagram and performed a satanic ritual. At 11:55 a.m., a correction officer entered the cell and witnessed the gruesome scene. Roby was handcuffed and Lloyd's body was taken to the infirmary. CPR was administered for 10 minutes, but Lloyd's body was already decomposing. According to the coroner, Lloyd had a fractured sternum, which could have been caused by the CPR. Lloyd's eyelids were swollen shut, his nose was fractured, and there was an abrasion on his temple. The official cause of death was listed as aspiration of blood. Probable strangulation and the skull fracture were also listed as other conditions. Lloyd was officially pronounced dead at 12:10 p.m.
Damn.
The Avery family was notified of Lloyd's death later that night. Che immediately flew to Pelican Bay looking for answers. Che was allowed to view Lloyd's body.
Bro was chasing demons his whole life and succumbed to the same thing. Ain't that crazy? Bro have what? Man, you know how big them houses in View Park is? I wish I could live, you know what I mean? Bro had the most potentially blessed life. Potential. He had high potential of having a blessed life and decided to strictly chase evil. And that's what he ended up succumbing to.
But became suspicious at the funeral home. Che was quoted saying, "I was overpowered by the smell. It took the breath out of me." The mortician told Che that Lloyd had been dead for at least 2 days. The Avery family paid for a private autopsy. Lloyd's cause of death was listed as blunt force trauma, complicated by an aspiration of blood. The report showed that the injury to Lloyd's skull was due to a blow from a flat surface, such as a carpenter's hammer, or an impact on a similar type surface. 2 investigations were launched. The district attorney handled the criminal aspect, and the Inspector General's Bureau investigated administrative misconduct. 8 months later, the Bureau determined that the prison's handling of security issues in the crime scene were poor. Roby confessed to Lloyd's murder and was sent to solitary confinement. The district attorney never filed charges against Roby. He said that Roby is already serving 3 life sentences and is never getting out. He went on to say that if he did file charges, Roby would get better treatment than the average prisoner, and since this isn't a death penalty case, it wouldn't make sense. The Avery family still had questions. They wanted to know if corrections officers were involved in Lloyd's murder, and why were a born-again Christian and the Satanist put in the cell together.
Facts.
The Avery family sent a request to the Attorney General's office and asked him to investigate Lloyd's murder. The Attorney General has the power to
That's like putting 2 complete rival like cartel members in a room together, and it's just like, nah, like, it's not gonna work out, bro. They gotta be even like jails, most jails in LA got like some sort of, or LA County jail. I want to assume most prisons in California too. They got things in place to make sure that rival gang members aren't in the same housing, in the same areas as other gang members because of this. Literally because of this, because then it'd just be all out violence. It's already all out violence. It'd be even escalated to another level.
Supersede the local district attorney. The attorney general told the Avery family that they would give the district attorney discretion over the case, but they would review the case once the district attorney made a decision. Till this day, the case remains at a standstill. Che found the movie script that Lloyd was working on. The script told the story of a character named L.A. Deuce and details his experiences on the streets and in jail. The script was titled Jungles. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Wow. The story of Lloyd Avery II. That's how I feel right now. Just But it's the story. His story is not an uncommon story in Los Angeles. Put it that way. You know what I mean? All it takes is a small little mix-in with certain people, and you could be in a situation where you will not be able to get your normal life back. I've been there. You know what I mean? Luckily I've always made the decision that was going to be best for me and not best for whoever else and worse for me. But I've been in those predicaments where this small little, whether you decide to go hop into that car, roll with that person, go link up with this person to go, we just going to do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We just going to take care of some, whoever, whatever. And everything could go this path to that path. You know what I mean? With little opportunity, with the more you go down whichever one, the less chance you can turn back around. So, it's a story of a lot of people from Los Angeles. Whether you grew up in a bad area or not, it don't matter what area you grew up in. It's all about where you at. It's all about who you with. It's all about where you be around. Don't matter where you grew up at. And it can change that quick. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? With my homies. So that's it, man. Y'all let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Remember to keep it real. Real is rare and real always reaches everyone. See y'all next time. Peace.